talking about Gene Simmons from Kiss.
There he is.
He is in Los Angeles, where I got the chance to visit with him a few months ago. Gene, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Not a happy day, but yes, good morning.
It is not a happy day. We've been talking for the last 24 hours about Ozzy Osbourne. I was crushed when I heard the news, but I specifically thought of you because you and Ozzy and Paul and the rest of Kiss have been friends with Ozzy for many, many years. In fact, he opened up for them back in '75 on their Sabotage tour. What was your reaction when you heard the news?
Well, look, when you get in the ring and you've got somebody there, the fisticuffs come up and, you start to, kind of make threatening sounds like we're going to blow you off the stage and so on. And Ozzy, through decades and decades, whenever I've run into him at events or backstage or anything, Ozzy was always just plain wonderful, heartfelt Ozzy, non-judgmental, no airs about him. Reluctantly, I admit sometimes I'm full of myself. Ozzy, never. And we played together in Boston, 1975, and we were both sort of starting out. It was a small 3,000-seater and full and all that, and the fans were going crazy. Everybody had a great time. And before Sabbath went on the stage, we're backstage with our makeup and everything else, and it bears noting that Geezer, a great bass player in Sabbath, walked over to Ozzy and said, they're blowing up bombs and all kinds of things. And Ozzy just went, yeah, it's all right. And he walked over on the way to the stage and just sort of said, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. That's Ozzy, the Prince of Darkness on stage, and just a heartfelt, wonderful person. I've never heard Ozzy ever say anything bad. I've done other interviews, and I think I'm going to be okay. And then, the emotion hits. When you meet somebody extraordinary, I don't mean famous, because there are a lot of famous people who are putzes, myself sometimes as well. This was a pure human being, non-judgmental. I've never heard him say anything bad about anybody.
Wow.
And
well, Gene, can I just also ask you to just set Ozzy and Black Sabbath in the pantheon of rock and roll? I mean, I've been explaining to people over the last 24 hours how before Sabbath, before Ozzy, those heavy riffs, those lyrics, Ozzy's haunting voice, they created a genre of music that for the bands that people love today, Metallica, Slipknot, Megadeth, they wouldn't exist without Black Sabbath. Can you just set him in just the pantheon of rock and roll?
That is accurate, and you can't overstate it. When Tony, who I know, in fact, we were going to form a power trio at some point called the Monsters for a short time. When he turned up that guitar, and that guitar made that statement, but when Ozzy especially stepped up on that stage, I think it bears noting, before Ozzy, there was no Ozzy. You can't point to who it is that inspired Ozzy to be who he is. A totally unique, extraordinary individual. I mean, a giant. When he stepped up on that stage, you saw somebody who completely took over and starts off with everybody go crazy and stuff. So without Sabbath and Ozzy, there wouldn't have been thousands of other bands. But I want to tell you that his reality show, we couldn't have our reality show without the Osbournes.
I know. That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Gene. But I love what you said. Before Ozzy, there was no Ozzy. Because that's how I got to know him, to be honest with you, was through the show The Osbournes. So we had never seen anything like that on television before, celebrities opening their homes that way. So what did you think when you first saw the show yourself? And tell us about Ozzy and his family, because we had never seen anything like that on television before, and it was mesmerizing to watch.
You have to understand that the Prince of Darkness on stage is one thing, and then the doting, loving father and devoted husband is another. And the few glimpses that we had of each other through the years didn't have to do with talking about the business and all that stuff. I'll tell you a quick story. Many, many years ago, I took my family to go see a movie, and we're standing in line, and the Osbournes are in front of us. So, hey, Ozzy, how are you? Hey, Gene, how are you? Nice. And you'd think you're going to talk about all sorts of things. No. It went immediate to Ozzy going, how's the family? How are the kids? Just the kind of person I wish I was more like. Just a sweet, what a great loss.
Oh, that's so nice to hear, because you hear about his antics on stage, biting the head of the bat and all the craziness. But, they might have called him the Prince of Darkness. But he brought so much
showbiz.
All showbiz. But because, Gene, he brought so much light and joy to people that really love this man.
Yeah. Hey, Gene, thank you very much.
You have but to turn on the Osbournes and see a family that love each other. And the lioness that Sharon is, she'll protect her family against anybody, even me.
Yes.
I recommend you put down your iPods and your TikToks and schmickstock, go to your room and put on some Sabbath.
Gene, you're a big pussycat, too. We know this about you. Thank you so much.
Gene, thank you so much.
Best person to talk to you today, Gene. Thank you.